This season has been different for OKC. I mean, the Thunder have pretty much been cementing themselves as one of the best teams in the NBA. After several years of genius talent acquisition by their GM, Sam Presti, staying down with several average seasons since losing Russ, and just years of trust in the process, they have truly arrived. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander putting up like 30 a game and damn near leading the NBA MVP race. Their young bull, Chet Holmgren, has a strong case to win Rookie of the Year. And overall, they're just looking really good. And as an NBA fan, I'm not gonna lie, it's cool to see this. I'm happy for OKC fans, They're not a crazy big market. They don't get to just save themselves in free agency with loads of money and the environment like the Lakers, the Brooklyn Nets, or even the Miami Heat. Nah, like they really built something. However, in saying that and giving them their due praise, I can't help but feel like in the midst of everything that's been going on this season, all the wins and sunshine, I don't see them going too far in the playoffs. I mean, I'm sure most people would agree. When a team is the second seed in their conference, the way OKC is right now, they are definitely, like, for sure title contenders and usually have a good chance at winning the NBA championship. And although I can't acknowledge them as such, y'all, I'd be lying to say I truly believe they can win the NBA title this year. And with all due respect overall, I don't believe NBA teams are really all that intimidated or fear them as a matchup. Literally, the two teams behind them right now, which are the Denver Nuggets and LA Clippers, seem like they have better NBA title chances to me. And in this video, we're gonna discuss exactly why this is. So yeah, y'all go ahead and let me know in the comments. Is OKC the biggest threat to win a title in the West? Do y'all feel as though other NBA teams fear them as a matchup? Why or why not? Also, if you're an OKC fan, man, don't hate me too bad. This is only an opinion, feel me, a discussion. OKC could really prove me very, very wrong. Time will tell. And yeah, really quick before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks, back with another video. If you're new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and sub. Also like the video if you enjoy. I upload quality basketball content and we're on the grind for 5K, so I most def appreciate it. But back to the video. Now, without being around the bush too much, I want to dive right into the main thing that keeps me from buying into OKC really being a top tier threat to win it all this year. Like, as far as, how we usually talk about the Celtics, the Warriors a couple years back, and the likes. And easily, without a shadow of a doubt, it's got to be their lack of experience. You see, out of everyone in their starting lineup of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Josh Giddey, the only players with some type of significant playoff experience up to this point are Shai with some amount of time on the Clippers and OKC in the bubble, and then Lou Dort with some time on OKC from the bubble a couple years back. Outside of that, the amount of postseason experience in the starting lineup is damn near non-existent. And then it dwindles even more if we go outside of the starting lineup. I mean, at that point, the only guy who probably got some decent experience is the recent pickup in Gordon Hayward, and he's been playing super mid for them. So yeah, now obviously this lack of playoff experience isn't for no reason. Now, it's no secret. One of the things that makes OKC's run this year so impressive is the fact that they are one of the youngest teams in the NBA. I mean, if we're talking about bright futures, longevity, and all of that, if OKC isn't near the top of your list or at number one, then you're just tripping, because their team has an average age of 24.12. I'm talking about these guys could really all be in grad school, and yet they've been making their mark all season with a top 5 offense in the NBA and securing quality wins all throughout the year in the tough Western Conference, as they are currently a top 2 seed. That's impressive. However, in saying that, I gotta call a spade a spade. We cannot ignore the experience factor, especially when they have a great chance of one of their initial matchups in the playoffs being one of the playing teams. And before y'all start laughing, oh Kiki, the playing teams, how's a team that barely makes the playoffs gonna compete with the OKC Thunder for a title? Well, if we look at the teams in the Western Conference that would fall under the play-in tournament right now, you got the Golden State Warriors at 10, the LA Lakers at 9, the Dallas Mavericks at 8, and the Phoenix Suns at 7. Now listen, I really don't mean to hang on to the golden years and the past of all these teams and the players that are on them, but let's be real. You always got a puncher's chance when you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond. The Lakers always gonna have a chance when they got LeBron, AD, and even D'Lo's streaky self. Mavericks always gonna have a chance when you got Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, who just be going ballistic in the playoffs, averaging 35 one year. And then of course the Phoenix Suns, we're talking about Devin Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal. Now look, I'm not here to say, oh, OKC, man, they're for sure getting bounced out if they play one of these teams. But listen, at the same time, I cannot pretend as if I can look at these potential matchups and just be like, oh yeah, OKC, they're knocking them out for sure. Because it's really just not that simple. Again, I don't want to miss the mark on how good they've been. You know, they've had quality wins versus the Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets, and even the Boston Celtics. I know recently they did lose to the Lakers, but that was off a back-to-back, and Shai only dropped 20 points on like 5 for 13 shooting. So we all know, okay, they dropped the ball. I'm not finna pretend as if that proves the Lakers will take them down in a playoff scenario. Nah. But, I mean, we all know the regular season is only the regular season. And it's not to say it doesn't matter at all. However, there's no doubt a 7-game series in that playoff environment, it just reveals a different reality. Come on, y'all. We see it every year. There's a reason Jimmy Butler has the great reputation of, you know, doing his little thing in the regular season. But once the playoff comes, everybody knows he's bringing it to another level. It's going to be Jimmy G buckets. Then on the flip side, you got players like Julius Randle, who was actually an All-NBA player a couple years back, I think 1 or 2 years ago. And you know, he was going crazy in the regular season for the Knicks. I believe he was putting up like 25 or more. And yet when it came time for the playoffs, he wasn't even the best player on his team. Like, I'm pretty sure Derrick Rose on a game-to-game basis was performing better than him. So yeah, this is stamped. And yeah, when it comes to this very young OKC team, we just don't know whether or not these guys will continue to produce at a high level. And again, when they're lacking in playoff experience so heavily, this is a reasonable doubt to have. Now, of course, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, putting up 30 on a night-to-night basis, strong MVP candidate. Could he continue this in the playoffs, considering he's been in the playoffs not once but twice before? I believe he really could. But then you got Chet Holmgren, who, again, making a strong case for Rookie of the Year, but he's only a rookie. That's a lot of pressure to even put on a guy. Then you got Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, Carson Wallace, and it's just like, damn. In comparison to the rest of the Western Conference, I mean, I'm looking at the Denver Nuggets, LA Clippers, Phoenix Suns, even New Orleans Pelicans to some extent, even Timberwolves to some extent. I'm just looking at it like, bro, the Thunder, they're very much new to this. Regardless of how the season ends, it's a W. They are definitely on the incline, and they could definitely win a championship in the next coming years. But this year, man, I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to see them holding that Larry O'Brien trophy in June. And it's hard to even believe they could put fear in other teams as a matchup. But yeah, man, that's about it for this video. I could mention some other things like their iffy defense ranking outside the NBA's top 10, but you know, it's neither here nor there. It's not the main reason I feel how I feel. But yeah, y'all let me know in the comments, man. Am I tripping? Is OKC a legitimate title contender? Why or why not? Do y'all believe they strike fear in other teams' hearts? And yeah, man, I'm no hater. You know, OKC, they're easy to root for. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's got some of the toughest IG captions we done seen. I'm talking about fool Shakespeare. He might have been taking notes off of him. But yeah, y'all, that's about it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Like the sub, share it, sub if new, and I'm out.